I think I've calmed down from my previous video. I get worked up again because I'm going right back to the fucking topic that pissed me off the first fucking time. But let's get through this piece, and I can go back to being a happy, well-adjusted person for at least a little bit. The title of the piece, where that quote that I talked about in my previous video came from, liberals have been seething for years because of Dr. Huxtable. The author of this is Patricia L. Dixon. And I'll leave a link to it if you want to go read it. I highly suggest you don't read it, mainly because you might want to fucking strangle someone. But let's get to it. When I first heard that Bill Cosby had been accused of and sued for drugging and sexually abusing Andrea Constand in 2005, I immediately knew, in parentheses, regardless of whether or not he was guilty, that he was being targeted because he had spoken out against the black culture. I think I've said all I need to say about that fucking sentence in the previous video. His famous pound cake speech in May 2004, just a year before the accusation became public, at an event to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Brown versus Board of Education Supreme Court decision, was powerful. I like how you're trying to assume that simply because this speech happened before the accusation became public, that somehow the speech caused the accusation to become public. It could totally be because, you know, Bill Cosby's a scumfuck, and he did this. It's because he's being targeted, and, you know, because he's spouting off at the fucking mouth like a doddering old cunt, and he's saying shit that's pissing off people because he's throwing, you know, a whole generation of black people under the fucking bus by saying, oh, you're just, like, fucked up gangsters, blah. Even though the majority of them aren't, like, fucking... If that's a speech he's talking about, because he's said plenty of dumb shit in the intervening couple of years since that speech and now. At an event to commemorate, I already read that. Because Mr. Cosby had always been a champion for education, it was understandable that he would be visibly upset and disheartened at the regression that he saw taking place in the black community. I kind of see it as people aren't doing what he wants them to do, so he's pissed off. Because, you know, education's good. I'm not going to say that education's bad. But people live their lives the way they live their lives. You know, it's what makes us human, you know, fucking... Mr. Cosby knew the price that had... He knew the price that had been paid and the sacrifices that were made during the Civil Rights Movement that culminated in the landmark Supreme Court decision in Brown versus Board of Education. As an older black man who lived during those times, he had every right to be upset and speak out about the current state of affairs in the black community. Mr. Cosby's Cosby Show. You could have just said the fucking Cosby Show. You don't need to say Mr. Cosby's Cosby Show. It's fucking redundant. Along with the 1980s spin-off show, A Different World, were unquestionably landmark sitcoms that proved that black Americans and a black American family could be portrayed at the center of success by showing an educated, intact family. See, I always find those kinds of shows where it's like, oh, intact family, like, everybody's happy. I find those shows to be fucking insulting. It doesn't matter what race they are. Like, because that's not how everybody is. Like, yeah, there are plenty of people who have intact families, but some people don't. And, you know, when they're portrayed in the media, like, it always turns out like the kid's a fuck up. Like, the kid's never, like, any better. However, his greatest crime was that he made black Americans believe that they could be successful. That's not fucking true according to the accusations that have been levied against him. His greatest crime was drugging and raping women. That's his greatest fucking crime. So, fuck off with that shit, son. In fact, it was reported that more black kids enrolled in college, historically black colleges and universities, grew by 24%, than at any other time in history because of the show A Different World. I'm pretty sure that kind of seems like a logical fallacy. And the name of the fallacy, I do believe, is post hoc ergo propter hoc. Which means after this, therefore because of this. So you kind of seem to be familiar with it because you're saying, that interview happened, then a year later he got accused of drugging and raping a woman. So like you're saying because that happened, the rape accusation happened. And maybe it's true. Maybe it's true that, more black kids were enrolled in college, and historically black colleges and universities, their enrollment grew by 24%. Because, and maybe it is because of A Different World, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because of better outreach. I don't fucking know. It just seems kind of stupid that, it's linked to the fucking show. Mr. Cosby's reputation was established as one that commanded respect, and when he spoke, people listened, regardless of race. Because of that, he had to be destroyed. Again, it's not even fucking plausible that he was a rapey scumfuck who deserves to have his testicles ripped off by a rusty pair of fucking pliers and shoved down his cocksucking throat. That doesn't enter into your fucking mind. He totally, he said good shit in the past. Fucking he could not possibly do this shit. Now that a judge has released court documents from the 2005 deposition from the lawsuit filed by Andrea Constrand, where Mr. Cosby admitted under oath to purchasing Quaaludes years ago and giving them to at least one woman before sex, Chauncey DeVega, a leftist writer for Salon, admits white liberals hate Bill Cosby. In an article, she claims that The Cosby Show duped America. She contends that the show enabled our ugliest Reagan-era fantasies. What were our so-called Reagan-era fantasies? According to Ms. DeVega. Actually, before I go forward, so he admitted to buying Quaaludes and giving them to women before he had sex with them. So the accusations are fucking grounded in fucking reality, and you just brush under that You are fucked, motherfucker. Holy shit. The politics and values of The Cosby Show, which were so attractive to so many and for such a long time, are based on a distorted and inaccurate presentation of the black community. One that has enabled a pernicious type of right-wing, colorblind racism to flourish. Television offers a distorted image of reality. No shit. It's true. And it and other types of mass media are the primary means through which unreal and false representations of human social relationships are lured by the public. The family drama and situation comedy both provide excellent examples of this phenomenon. The Cosby Show followed the day-to-day struggles and experiences of a rich black New York family called the Huxtables. The father, played by Cosby, was a successful obstetrician, and his wife, Claire, was a partner in a law firm. They had one son and 4 daughters. They hail from a long line of successful African Americans who were graduates of historically black colleges. The show was a response to white popular imagination that largely saw black and brown Americans as poor, as members of the underclass, as criminal or beaten down by racism, and as such, lacking agency, freedom, or upward mobility. The problem liberals have with Bill Cosby is that his character, Dr. Huxtable, took away black America's victim card and took the focus off white America oppressing black America. Yes, it's a fanciful... Because it took away the image of the black people getting fucked by society. And you know what the reality is? Black people and brown people getting fucked by society. For 30 minutes a week, white America was left off the hook for all the racism it was inflicting on blacks. Yes, and that's a bad fucking thing, because it should be held accountable to fucking the shit that it was doing. The Huxtable family caused black kids to want to emulate the Huxtable kids and aspire to go to college instead of sitting around blaming Whitey. You know, you can blame Whitey and still, do shit, that's productive. According to liberals, the Huxtable family was a distorted and inaccurate presentation of the black community. The Evans family, from the good times, was a more accurate portrayal of a black family held down by the man. Jameson and Florida Evans were not college educated, and no matter how hard they tried to escape the ghetto, Whitey kept them down. Everyone attacking Bill Cosby is doing so by associating him with Dr. Huxtable, the character he played on a television show. No, you fucking cunt! People are attacking him because he's a rapey piece of shit! Who he fucking admitted to it, for Christ's sake! He admitted to buying Quaaludes and giving them to women before he had sex with them. That's why people are fucking attacking him! He's also a fucking pompous dick. He is a pompous dick who is condescending. He's like, I'm better than you because I went to college and you should want to be me. And, he also just went off the fucking rails a few times and, just fucking... Why is Bill Cosby's character on a television show attached to his personal character, whereas other characters are not? Because the fucking character is the same fucking person he is in the private fucking life. I believe that the reason why the left has to attach Dr. Huxtable to Bill Cosby is not so much to show that Bill Cosby is a fraud, but to show that Dr. Huxtable is the fraud. Liberals hate Dr. Huxtable, and they hate Bill Cosby for bringing him into our living rooms. No! People fucking hate him because he dosed women with fucking drugs, and he's a fucking pompous douchebag about it. Liberals hate the Huxtables because they did not fit the narrative that racism is still alive and well. It fucking is still alive and well, the fucking amount of black people getting shot by fucking white cops is not a fucking imagined thing. It's a fucking real thing. For fuck's sake. For instance, according to Miss De Vega, Theo Huxtable was never harassed by the New York City Police Department because he was a young black male. Cliff Huxtable was never stopped by the police because he drove an expensive luxury automobile. Claire Huxtable was never racially profiled while she shopped in an exclusive boutique or high-end retail department store in Manhattan. Because they were wealthy, and they flaunted their fucking wealth. They didn't, dress humbly. They wore, sweater vests and all this other shit. They were ostensibly fucking throwing their wealth in people's faces. But just a regular old black person walking down the fucking road is going to get a lot more scrutiny than me. I acknowledge that fucking thing. Black people get a lot of shit from a lot of fucking people in society. That shit still goes on. Ignoring it doesn't make it go the fuck away. Before the recent onslaught of women came forward with claims that they were abused by Mr. Cosby decades ago, he was in the process of launching another television sitcom. Are you you are fucking... You've got to be fucking joking. You know why many of these women are coming forward now? It's probably because they've finally been told it's not their fault that they got raped, it's not their fault they got drugged, and now they feel empowered enough to actually go against the motherfucker. With the current environment rife with racial discord and division, liberals cannot afford to have another Dr. Huxtable and family enter our living rooms and destroy their well-cemented narrative of white racism and white privilege. It's a fucking... Anybody who looks at society and says there isn't white privilege is fucking demented. I don't fucking... I just don't know. Therefore, they had to kill off Dr. Huxtable for good. Again, it's not the fact that he did all of this shit. It's not that he admitted to buying Quaaludes and giving them to women before sex. You know, probably surreptitiously because he's a fucking scum shit. It's not because of that why he's being targeted. It's because he was a character on TV. It's not because he's a slimy sack of shit. It's because he played a character on TV and he was going to make a new fucking television show. And I guarantee you, if he had gone through the fucking show, it would have been out of fucking touch and people would have ignored it any fucking way. Because Bill Cosby, aside from being a probable rapist, is an out of touch, doddering, stuttering piece of shit. He's a pompous dickhead. He thinks he knows how the world should run, and he fucking doesn't. He does know how the world should run. He's so far up his own fucking ass. And honestly, I can't wait. I cannot wait for the day Bill Cosby fucking dies. I cannot wait till we throw that piece of shit in the ground for all fucking eternity. Because if there is a loving God, he'll be in fucking hell getting a sticker poked up his ass for fucking eternity. For all of his pompous douchebag and probable rapey bullshit. And people who ignore the fact that he admitted to buying Quaaludes and giving them to women before they had sex, and just writing off the fucking the accusations of the drugging and raping from these women, you guys can go kill yourselves and nobody will fucking give a shit. You'll just become a fucking footnote on the fucking planet. In the planet's history, you'll become a fucking footnote. Just like I will. Peace out, guys. Have a wonderful day. And fuck you, Patricia, because you're fucking deluded.